Have you ever found yourself searching up how to make more money? You're not alone. In 2024, this was one of the top searches. Right now, 63% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And even if you're not, why do so many of us still feel broke? Why do we feel the constant need to want more? Why is everyone chasing this idea of generational wealth that's all over social media? In this video, I want to do something different. We're going to dive into the real reasons behind this. We'll uncover where these feelings come from, how money became such a big deal, and why it feels like there's never enough, no matter how much we make. Chasing money affects more than just our wallet. It takes a toll on the time we spend with our families. It affects our well-being and even our ability to find clarity and peace. As this year comes to an end, I want you to take a moment to reflect and start moving into the new year with a clearer and healthier mindset. So let's explore how we can become not only wealthy, but also healthy. To really understand why we're all so obsessed with making money, we have to go back to the very beginning, when money wasn't even a thing. Back in the day, people traded goods directly. You got eggs? I've got bread. That's pretty simple, right? But it didn't take long to realize this wasn't exactly efficient. What if the guy with bread didn't want your eggs? Yo, you got bread? Yeah, but I don't want your eggs. That's when we started using things like gold, silver, and other valuables as a standard. It was a way to represent the value of what we were trading. This was the birth of currency. I don't have eggs, but I got gold. Yeah, I'll take that. It made trading easier, but it also started something much bigger. Over time, money wasn't just about trading anymore. It became a symbol of power. Those who controlled money, whether it was the kings, governments, or banks, controlled entire societies. And this hasn't really changed. Today, having more money means having more options, influence, and freedom. It's no wonder why we're all so focused on it. But it's not just about power. Money also represents something deeper. It represents security. Think about it. Money gives you access to food, shelter, healthcare, all the things that we need to survive. This ties directly to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the base of the pyramid, there's things like safety and security. And money is a key to unlocking even the basic necessities that we need. So, when you don't feel secure financially, it feels like you can't even get the basics that we need to live. It triggers this deep, almost primal fear, like your basic needs are under threat. That's why money influences so much of what we do and the way that we feel. Money started as a simple tool to make trade easier, but over time, it's become one of the most powerful forces in our lives. It's not just about buying things, it's about feeling safe, having control, and even shaping how we see ourselves, and sometimes even the way we see others. And this is why you feel broke, even when you have money. Have you ever looked at your bank account, seen that you're doing pretty okay, but you still felt broke? It's not just you. It's something a lot of us go through, and it's deeper than just the numbers. Here's the thing, you might be making more than you ever have, but it doesn't always feel like that. And that's because our spending often grows with our income. It's called lifestyle inflation. You earn more, so you upgrade your car, your house, upgrade your vacations, and before you know it, you're back at square one. And the worst part, it keeps you stuck in that rat race, working harder and longer just to keep up with the life that you built, instead of breaking free and living on your own terms. Why we still feel broke. Here's a stat for you. According to a study by Lending Club, 61% of Americans making over $100,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. That's not just people struggling at minimum wage, it's people earning six figures. So it doesn't matter how much money you make, if you don't break free from this, you'll always feel broke. Feeling broke, even when you're not, takes a toll. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of anxiety and even depression. Have you ever felt sad out of nowhere? Maybe someone asked you a question or something and you just snapped with an aggressive answer because you're so fed up with everything, and it probably wasn't even that person's fault. It affects how we spend time with our families, how we view ourselves, and our ability to focus on what really matters. Now, why do you feel this way? Entrepreneurship comes with a lot of decision making. This is why you feel so tired and exhausted all the time. When you're constantly stressed about money, your brain gets stuck in overdrive. Now let's look up here real quick. Glutamate. Glutamate is a neurotransmitter that helps with thinking and focus and your decision making. Even when you're done thinking and making decisions, the glutamate still sticks around for a while, and eventually it starts to build up. And when you're constantly thinking and making decisions, eventually there's too much of it. Your brain struggles to slow down, and your decision making starts to feel more difficult, and it becomes even more unclear. That's why even when you're physically resting, mentally, you still feel like you're running. And now You're stuck in this constant cycle. You're tired from making decisions because you were broke, which increased your glutamate. Now you're having to make more decisions, which is increasing your glutamate again, which is making you even more tired. And now you're at the point where you're just making bad decisions because you're so unclear. Eventually you're jammed up with glutamate and eventually you just crash. And now with this constant cycle going on, it's not just about being broke or money anymore. You start feeling broken on the inside too. And here's where it gets even worse. You might think, let me take a break. I'll step away from it, clear my head, but then you hop on social media and what do you see? People posting about their perfect lifestyles, maybe even some amazing food you want to experience, or someone throwing stacks of money at the club. All of this triggers something inside your brain. It's like a reminder, you're not doing enough. So instead of actually taking a break, you jump right back into that grind mode, right back into the hustle that you thought you were taking a break from. It's this constant loop over and over. You try to rest, but then the pressure from social media pulls you back in. Hell, maybe you're not even on social media. Maybe you just go out for a walk or even a drive, trying to clear your mind. And then a car pulls up, the car you always wanted, or maybe you pass by a billboard, has some dream vacation on there. Society itself is constantly reminding us of the things we want over and over. Now remember Maslow's hierarchy? It's because we moved past that basic survival stage. Now we're chasing to the top of that pyramid, trying to do better for ourselves. The top of that pyramid is the pinnacle of success. And that's what we're trying to reach now. And now you're not just tired and broke, you're burnt the f*** out. You're stuck in a cycle that feels impossible to break. All right, so we just broke down why you're broke. Now let's talk about how to fix it. And some of it might even go against the grain of the channel. I mean, it's called Hustle Ninjas after all, but at the end of the day, your health is your greatest wealth. If you're burnt out and broken on the inside, no amount of hustling is gonna fix that. Budgeting and expense management. First things first, you've gotta get control of where your money's going. One of the easiest ways to do this is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income goes to your needs, things like rent, food, and bills. 30% of this goes to your wants. Yeah, you can still have a little bit of fun, throw some money at the club if that's your thing, or you can fund it towards your business. Now, the next 20% goes to your savings or paying off debt. Now, this isn't about being perfect. It's about giving yourself a structure so you can start building some breathing room. Trust me, even small changes can make big differences. Number 2, avoid lifestyle inflation. You probably heard the phrase, more money, more problems. We've already gone through this. That's lifestyle inflation. The more you make, the more you spend. Upgrading your car, your house, taking more vacations, and so on. Before you know it, you're right back to where you started. Now, instead of upgrading everything, focus on keeping your lifestyle the same while your income grows. Take that money, that extra money, put it into savings and investments. I promise you one thing, the future you is gonna thank you. Now, number 3, challenge social media and the pressure of society. Let's be real here. Social media plays a huge role in why we feel like we're not doing enough. So limit your time on platforms that trigger too much comparison. That comparison is what's gonna kill you. Once again, this kind of goes against the grain of the channel because that hustle mentality, sometimes you need that hunger to feed you so that you continue to go after it. But remember to keep a balance because that's what's gonna keep you healthy. Success isn't about having the nicest cars or the biggest house. It's about financial freedom, quality time with loved ones, and being happy with what you got. And that's the kind of success that no amount of likes or followers can buy. Number 4, embrace minimalism. Here's another mindset shift. More is better doesn't have to be your motto. Instead, try something like enough is plenty. Simplify your life by focusing on what truly adds value. And by doing so, it's gonna be a whole lot easier for you to make money because you're now gonna make more clear decisions than you ever had before. Number 5, break the hustle culture mentality. I just went against everything about this channel. Hustle ninjas, huh? Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Working all the time doesn't mean you're gonna get more done. If you work less, but with a more optimized schedule, that can actually make you more productive. So take intentional breaks, set boundaries, and prioritize your rest. Hustling nonstop might feel like you're getting ahead, but that burnout, that's gonna cost you way more in the long run. Remember, whenever you're resting, it doesn't mean you're slacking or being lazy, you're just recharging. Just don't rest too much though, because you actually get lazy and now you're gonna be stuck in a whole different kind of cycle. So that's a whole different situation. What I'm trying to tell you right now is the fact that balance is key. We live in one of the greatest times ever. We got access to amazing technology, incredible opportunities, and yeah, things like cool cars, whatever goods you may like, sneakers, clothes, whatever. But with all of this upside comes something else. Critical thinking, constant choices, a level of decision making our ancestors never had to deal with. It's that glutamate. We're not just here trading gold or silver for bread and eggs anymore. Now that same goal can get you a big house, a nice vacation, or anything that you can imagine. And that's the thing, it's those endless options and pressures that leave us feeling so tiresome, so drained. It's crazy that decisions actually make us tired. And this is what makes us feel broke, even when we're not. But here's the flip side. When you find that nice, healthy balance, when you step back and focus on what really matters, you start to find yourself again. You find clarity. And in that clarity, it becomes a whole lot easier for you to get back to that hustle, because now you're hustling with intention and direct. Like I said earlier, I get it. This channel is supposed to be all about hustling and grinding, but the truth is your grind is not going to be worth it. It's costing you your health, your relationships, and your peace of mind. Your health is your greatest wealth. And if you don't take care of that, no amount of money will ever feel like it's enough. So as you work towards that financial freedom, remember, it's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter, living with intention and finding that balance. And that's how you break the cycle of being broke.